Hello everyone and welcome back. Hope things are well. Hope you are looking forward because in 6 days time, so on Sunday, we're going to be flying out to Tokyo straight after the whole game and going down to London, and then we are going out to Japan to watch Newcastle's pre-season matches, and I can't wait for it. And the reason why I brought that up now is for two reasons actually. So first one being, overnight stay vlogs are coming back. We've got to bring them back. So for the whole City game, we're going to warm it up, we're going to bring it back for that match, and then afterwards we're going to bring it back for the trips abroad, and I'm looking forward to it. And I know you guys have been asking about it, so it is coming back. It'll come back for the whole City game, and then it'll be back for the Japan matches. And secondly, for any of you guys watching that, either travelling across to Japan, or you live in Japan, or you just planning on going to the games, make sure to DM me, make sure to let me know on a message so I can actually get back to you, and I can make you fully aware of any events that are taking place. Now, if you bought the Japan tickets directly off Newcastle United's club website, the club would have sent out emails with invitations to events that you could have put ballots in for. Now, I'm obviously not sure how that's going to work now for fans that didn't get the notifications, or fans that weren't aware of that. But there are going to be fan-led supporter events as well, so just make sure to let me know. We can just tell you everything about them, and we want to get as many Newcastle fans together as possible. So in our thousands, we'd love to get some meet and greets on. Just make sure whoever's travelling across to Japan, everyone's got someone to be with. But for example, me, obviously I'm going by myself, so it's just a good chance for everyone to interact with each other. I know there'll be a lot of people going by themselves as well, so yeah, just try and make sure every single Newcastle fans well look after, have a great time out there, and just to try, of course, in a business point of view, try and build up the exposure of this football club more. But yeah, just let me know if you're going, was the point I was making. Now, unfortunately, we do have some sad news as well. So for anyone that is aware of the women's team, anyone's been to the women's team before, we had a photographer called Colin. So this is someone that's been at the club for 14 years. He would have came in back in 2010 when Mike Ashley was the owner. I mean, he didn't even knew about the women's team, never mind cared about me. He never visited them. The girl had to buy their own footballs, had to buy their own kit. They had to do everything and come into training. And Colin was the photographer, so he would do stuff for Newcastle. It wasn't just Newcastle, he would do stuff for Southern as well. You just do it across North East women's football, where you go there and volunteer work, didn't get paid anything in the 11 years that he was there before Mike Ashley sought the club. He would just do that because he loved women's football. His daughter played for Newcastle United, so he had a big connection with her. And it was just something that he enjoyed doing because it was his passion. It was something that he loved. And at the time, he also had cancer. So he's actually been suffering with cancer for 12 years now. And of course, it got worse and worse. And unfortunately, on Saturday night, he passed away. And it's such a sad moment because he truly was one of the best. I would never ever going to replace a guy like him. He was perfect. He was so down to earth. He would speak to everyone. He'd make sure everyone felt welcome on match day, and he just was a lovely person. So to see that come out on social media today is truly distressing, and it really is devastating. So I just want to say I put my thoughts and condolences out to Colin's family and friends at this time, because it is horrible to see. Absolute legend, and I hope the club did something for him because he truly was one of the best. But yeah, it's sad to talk about, but I just wanted to make people aware, just in case you haven't seen any of the public announcements already. Going on topic to the video now, we are here, of course, for Newcastle United transfer news, and we're going to get straight into it with Eddie Howe. That was the man of the hour a couple of days ago. A lot of speculation surrounding him. Of course, Southgate's just left the England job. We all know during interviews throughout the past, Eddie Howe wants that national team job one day. Personally, for me, I felt like it was one tournament too soon. If it was 2026 and Southgate had stuck on and then left after that tournament, I actually think Eddie Howe would have took the job then. But now it's not the correct time. He has a lot to do at Newcastle, and he's still happy being here at the football club. But when he conducted his interviews, there was a hesitant approach, which was quite rare from Howe. So he came out and said straight away, everything has to be correct for me, everything has to work with me. And he was a bit almost off-put by the fact that Amanda and Murder have just left. There's been a lot of reshuffling going on with the director, a lot of new things coming into the football club, so it has been a bit of an uncertain period for Newcastle United. But Howe is now been given those reassurances from the ownership that he will have full power, he will have full backing, and the signings that were able to be done with the likes of Bruno, Isak coming in, Botman, the club will still go through the same procedures, and they still will make sure that Eddie Howe has a major say in what players come in. and it's going to be key for players going out of the door as well, which we'll talk about shortly. But just given the reassurances, again, the state of the obvious, Eddie Howe is going to stay. Don't see him leaving at all. We'll see what happens going forward, how we do this season, because this season is a big one. Again, with Manda and Murdoch gone, if Eddie Howe doesn't quite reach the expectations laid out to him, the PAF won't mess around. They want money earned, they want to make sure that everything is going well for them, and they will be quick on it straight away. So Eddie Howe has a big season ahead of him if he wants to remain Newcastle manager going into next season. But I believe in him, I back in him, and the fact that we have got Tonali coming back, going to be like a new signing, and we have got, I like to say, a fit squad, but we don't. We just don't have a fit squad, do we? With some of the injuries already, with the likes of Wilson's just taking the absolute mick now, which is going to be near impossible to sell him. But talking about our players, when we talk about potential sales, it is now expected that Trippier is going to leave the football club. It is now heavily unlikely that he'll stay. So it's believed that Saudi Arabian clubs are coming in for him. It's just believed by the club that obviously now we can't sell Wilson. It means that the other two is probably going to have to go. So Almiron is still expected to leave, and Trippier is expected to follow him. So it's a shame in terms of Kieran, but I do actually agree with it. I think especially if you watch his last few months, not just for Newcastle but also for the national team as well, he just has lost a bit of pace to him. So any good winger has a lot of pace behind him. It will just beat Kieran every time. He's getting older. It's a shame because he hasn't quite had the longevity that I hope he was going to have. But especially in fullbacks in today's game, it's a lot of work. It's a lot to do. And for Kieran, it's just a lot. I just don't think you can play week in, week out for Newcastle. So if he was going to stay, for me, you'd be starting Livramento and Hall, and you have Trippier as a bit of a rotation, fullback in potentially both areas. But he's not going to start for Newcastle. So if you get a chance to get some money for him, bear in mind now, if you don't sell him this summer, chances are you're leaving a free next summer. So Newcastle is a bit of a situation where they kind of have to sell him now if you want to get any money for him. It was the same with Wilson, but yeah, you know, with his injury, it's not going to help us, is it? Trippier's expected to go, Almiron's expected to go, those two were expected to leave. And we've got some problems even with players going down the squad. I mean, Ryan Fraser, for example, Southampton don't want to buy him because, I mean, to be fair in Southampton's case, look at Ryan Fraser's contract in Newcastle. He has one more year left. Southampton, why would they buy him now? Well, next summer you can just get him on a free. Fraser's desperate to go back to Southampton, and it's believed that Southampton will come back in again with his second loan deal, and then next summer you'll just leave on a free. So that's Southampton's game plan. They don't want to pay any money for him because you can just get him on a free next summer. And in Newcastle's case, it's almost blackmail really, because if we keep Fraser this summer, then he's going to be trimmed the under 21s. We've got to pay his full wage, whereas if he goes to Southampton on loan, you'll probably split the wage, or Southampton may even pay potentially a high amount of it. So Newcastle in a bit of a situation where they kind of can't decline Southampton's loan move because it would be damaging to us if we say no to Southampton. So quite literally we had to loan him out, and then Southampton would get him on a free. So Southampton's basically outplayed us for Fraser because of Mike Ashley's stupid contract he's given with these players. Hayden's still got one or two more years left. Fraser's still got a year left. It's ridiculous. He's gave out these massive, mammoth 5-year, 6-year contracts on players that now are completely outdated. These players just don't get anywhere near our team now. Obviously, Ryan Fraser was kicked out of the squad. He's with the under 21s. He'll be trained with the under 21s unless Southampton get him on a loan deal. So we've essentially been screwed over because of Mike Ashley. So in that situation now, we've lost a little bit of money in Ryan Fraser because we are unable to sell him, because Southampton knows that we can't sell him. So instead they're offering us a loan deal, and I'm just going to get him on a free next summer. So I can't blame Southampton for that, because I think it's quite smart business before us. What else do I say? Mike Ashley again being an absolute pain in the backside and just screwing over our deals. But in terms of income, and just again, it's just speculation. Social media, there hasn't really been anything I'd say been brought to life yet. I've said it again, and I've said it in this video here. I personally believe that Newcastle need to bring players in for that Japan tour. Eddie Howe needs them in as soon as possible. I remember when we went to America last summer, Harvey Barnes was signed when Newcastle were about to set out, and then Harvey Barnes came when Newcastle were out there. So that's probably the situation we're going to be looking for. Yeah, we need to get players in for that tour. 100% for Salah Cup, if not. But the Salah Cup's quite literally about 4 or 5 days after the second game in Japan, so you still have to basically bring them in for the Japan tour. And then for the Salah Cup, it has to be those matches you play them in those games, because we need matches to play. Newcastle will be playing Burnley during the week, So they'll be going down to Burnley, they'll be playing behind closed doors. Don't know what day it'll be. I imagine it'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. I would have thought it's either tomorrow or Wednesday. They'll play Burnley down at their training complex. They'll then do the whole game. They'll fly out after Japan, do the 2 games at Tokyo, and then come back for the Seller Cup. So the players have to honestly be brought in just as soon as possible, because again, tight period has to be brung in just like that. But that's in terms of this video, guys. It's about it really, just to update you a bit on the sales. Trippier is now expected to leave completely, not expected to stay at all. Eddie Howe's been given reassurances from the ownership, and we've still got bits of information about the likes of Ryan Fraser and just the inner workings of this football club. It's not been a great period, again, with the Colin injury, as it's caused some big problems. But it is what it is. We'll move on from it. Hope you guys enjoy watching though. Wish you all the best, and we'll see you all in the next one.